Okay, microphone's working. Let me put it here or here, which is better. Be. Yeah. Hey, 24. Hello. Hello. Oh. 7 months old. Oh my god.
Just 24 just subscribed for 7 months. 7 months old.
Almost a whole baby. Oh my god. Hey, world map. You've just missed out. Just missed out on getting the first. Mamma mia. Nice. My game looks different. Yeah. There was a patch that came out, and I think it's changed it again. Everything looks a lot darker. It's still lag, yep. Yeah, I've been messing around with uninstalling and reinstalling mods to try and figure out which one's causing the game to crash, and I am finding nothing. I just want to double check. Where's my mouse? Yeah, what the fuck? So my asset variation thing's also not working properly. Maybe the sheer girth of the city. Well, it's only 83,000. It's not that big. That's what I'm a bit confused by. Is that the city is not actually that big at all. Unless I have just like hit the limit, but that'd be a bit disappointing if I have. Yep. Okay. All the colors that I've assigned to things have been reset now. Ah, fuck. This is a new issue that I found. It's too dark to even bloody see the thing. Yeah, they made the shadows really dark now. You're the Clips leader this month. Larger than my hometown, it is one of the major cities. Harrison, depressing. A little bit. Yeah, like I can't unpause, and it seems like every time I load the game, something breaks. So maybe the save itself is corrupted. Which makes me think, can we load back? We can't load that one. Did I unsubscribe from that one? Yeah, I uninstalled it because it was marked as broken, and it looks like that uninstalling it didn't fix anything, it just broke more. The type of bullshittery you do, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, I didn't think I was doing too much. I do have a backup of an old save. So maybe that will work. What is this? Oh, they changed the logo. Do I get the cake now? No cake for you. Yeah, like we spent that time changing the color of this thing. It's all fucking broken. But what confuses me is the save shouldn't have lost the color, the colors that were assigned. That's what doesn't make sense to me. It shouldn't have overwritten the colors by uninstalling it. Because I'll show you. If I look at this, 3, 2, 1. Look at that. 2 seconds. Now I'm gonna try. It's not even 2 seconds. It just crashed. Yeah. Tell me about yesterday's storm. Well, there was flooding actually in the CBD, and the few areas were underwater. There was lots and lots of lightning strikes, which is a little bit spooky, I'll admit. We'll go local low, colossal order, saves. Okay, let's try this one from 22nd of the 2nd. No, we'll do January. Copy, paste. Alright, this should for sure let us know if it's the save file or some mod somewhere. Crashes harder than Minecraft with 800 mods. Well, at least I feel like even with 800 mods, it's very hard to crash Minecraft. I remember Tekkit and all that stuff. It had like way too many mods, and it still ran. But this one is a bit fucked. How's the apartment? It's going. We've just got to sign a few things, and then have a meeting with the solicitor because they have to do the transfer of title, so it goes from like the owner of the lot goes from current owner to me and Mrs. Chief, but we got to we'll charge you $800 a week rent. It's a fair deal. It's a fair deal. Oh my god. Nah, but we gotta pay. There's like 1,000 little fees that come in with the what do you call it? With the transfer of title. There's like 3 different fees, or like $200. plus like the lawyer fees and stamp duty, which is like the tax and everything else. Need to make more money. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's the rents are too much. I feel like it has to hit a plateau at some point, but I don't think it will. I think we'll just end up with like multiple families living in a 2-bedroom apartment sort of thing. Living just to charge you random amounts. I know. They always catch you with the disbursements, and then that's where they just go like, oh yeah, I picked up the phone for 5 minutes, $200. That's where the real money is. I looked at an email. $800 right there. Alright, it's loading in. But yeah, there's like I think it's about like almost $10,000. I think it's like 9,000. Like all the fees and the government tax and the mortgage stuff. Not the actual mortgage payments, but the mortgage, like setting it up. Apparently they charge fees for that. Looking at a screen is bad for your eyes. They got to cover that. Yeah, work health and safety. So that's why they have the tinted windows on their Maseratis and Lamborghinis, to protect their eyes. Hey Hurliger. Yes, I am crashing on unpause. I just did it and it crashed within like a microsecond. Hey Hen, hello. The finisher here, yes. The Scandies. Does Finland count itself as part of Scandinavia? Don't happen to have any mods that change pathfinding. I do have the traffic mod, is that it? Is that what could be causing it? No. Okay. Yeah, the only... Finland is Nordic, however. Right. Because it did show up on Skive as like being a potential problem. I think it said warning. It didn't say broken, it said warning. Just let it load in all the custom decals. Oh my god. We got too many. My stream is constantly stopping. I don't know why, so I'll go again. No worries, Hen. Thanks for popping by. Yeah, happy Friday. So hope the rest of your day is nice and chill, man. Oklahoma-born K-pop idol is competing in Sweden's Melodifestivalen, where the winner gets to represent Sweden. Huh. Traffic light enhancement is marked as not compatible. I have a lot of custom traffic lights. Is this it? By Brucey Boy? Okay. Let's remove it and see what happens. Ah, fuck. Alright. You know what? We'll just play with it pause, because... CBF. You know what? It looks like I have to restart anyway. Yeah, shit. Crash on unpause is almost always pathfinding issues. I see. Alright, I'll just restart. Yes, thank you, Hurliger. I'll keep that in my memory banks, hopefully. Alright, we'll relaunch. And then lose the paper. I may have lost quite a few bits and pieces of info. I used to always, and I still do occasionally for work, I used to always write down like the tasks for the week or whatever on post-it notes, and then stuck them onto like the sides and around the monitor, so that I like, if I'm trying to figure out what I need to do, I could just, all the post-it notes are there. But I haven't done that for a while. I tried using the post-it note pro, you know, sticky notes that comes with the Windows. Tried using that, and then I just end up, because it gets like hidden under so many windows and tabs that I just forget to even look at them. I feel like I need to go back to the sticky note thing. You can stick it to someone else's monitor. Yeah, I mean, like, if they ask for info, I just write it down on the sticky note, and they're not at the desk or whatever. I just write it down on the sticky note and then put it on their monitor or whatever. Now it's all Teams messages, and company has a policy to automatically delete Teams messages after like a month or something like that, which has caused issues, because you'd be trying to remember a past conversation for like some critical thing, and then you look back at the Teams message and it's gone. Must be doing some very shady stuff. That's how Aussie business works. 24. Hey, Polytruck. Hello. Look at that, 89. That's going to be triple digits soon. Big corpos delete content older than 3 years, not a month. Well, my company is special. Yeah, but it's annoying, because I'll like be trying to remember a conversation that happened like last month, and the messages are gone due to your organization's retention policy or something, I think it says. I think they're just digging themselves a hole. But they probably don't delete it though, 24. I imagine they save it to a server somewhere and you just lose access to it unless you're a part of IT. Look at that, we're waiting for the game to load. That's wild to do though. Yeah. The thing about Aussie corporate is it is not efficient. That's one major key thing I've learnt working in corporate, is that efficiency is not the name of the game. They do it to emails as well. Yeah, the emails have a bit of an interesting thing. They archive them, so they're not like immediately in your inbox. But if you want to look for an email from like a couple of years ago, you can still use the search at the top of Outlook, and it'll the email will be there. You just have to give it a minute to like. Are you joking? The game crashed. Fucking hell! Come on. Ugh. Usually the reason for that is so if the company gets into a legal battle and have to provide proof, they can just say they don't have any. I think that would be illegal here too. Because you can get subpoenaed by the lawyers or whatever on the other side for they can like it's basically requesting access to all information pertaining to a specific topic. And I think the way it works is the retention policy that the company has is directly influenced by like statute of limitations. So if it's like 3 years or 5 years or whatever it is, then they delete it after that. Yeah. Yeah, there's a reason why all the shredders start firing up the moment anything legal happens. Also surprised when you saw it happen. Ooh. And the way businesses operate is apologize after the fact. You do it first and apologize after, because half the time the fee, the fine for getting caught doing something naughty is less than the lawsuit. We are so sorry. We won't do it again. No. Depends on the type of email. Yeah, a thing that they like to do, it's not new, but the thing that they like to do is based the security level of each email. You have to assign a value to it. Yep. And they'll be like, okay, here's a $10,000 fine. Oh, what, your revenue's $1 billion? Yeah, the $10,000 will teach them a lesson. Just ends up being a cost of doing business. Unfortunately. Yeah, I remember like every now and then you'd have like a dodgy developer come in at the old job, and they'd be like talking about like, oh, we want to do this, but it's not passable by council or whatever, and then architects or whoever would be like, oh yeah, just do it after the fact sort of stuff. And it was like, Jesus Christ. There's always, I think there's a saying for that, right? Or it's like, do it now, apologize later. I think that's how a lot of businesses operate. Oh, better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission, I think, is what the saying is. Which is a bit sad. Oh my god. Alright, at least we didn't crash on the main menu. That's good. I'll move this mic a little bit further away. There we are. Hopefully that's better. Alright, look at that. We've loaded in. We'll load the autosave. So I guess what we have to do is wait for the traffic light enhancement mod to get updated. And then we're fine. Fingers crossed. So I think we're just waiting on that. Can't promise that's the issue since you have other mods too. Well, I think for pathfinding, I think it's just that. But do assets that have custom pathways count? Like, would the road builder mod fall under that category? I think it would, right? Because you're making custom roads, which affects the pathfinding. Road builder plus platter. Well, I've got road builder. I don't know platter. Let's just make sure everything's installed properly. See if that fixes my missing walls and stuff. Flip the variables here. There we go. Oh, was this that that thing, that mod that came out where it's like you just plop the zoning rather than the building? Okay, yeah, I think I tried that once, but it still wasn't enough for me. It wasn't customizable enough. Had to collect accounting and receipts from the company's office in the evening. Fear of a police raid. Back in the 80s and a construction company. Very shady times. Yeah, if you ever want to get a good idea of how dodgy businesses can get, is work in something that's construction adjacent. Because the amount of dodgy shit that happens is insane. And it happens all the time too. Because it is basically just a room of yes men. Whenever there's a meeting, it's a room of yes men all agreeing with each other that whatever brain dead idea they've got is the best thing. How did I do this before? Here we go. Construction companies are so annoying. Had officially about 30, but in reality more than 500. Yep. Yeah, that's the thing they like to do now as well, where it's I think the new trick is to, you don't hire somebody as an employee, you hire them as a subcontractor. So that individual has to have an ABN. And they use it to, like, they can, I think the way they do it is they what is it? They don't have to pay super, which is like a percentage of your paycheck is deducted and sent to a investment fund on your behalf, basically, that then you access when you retire. So you're not just relying on the pension, you've got the retirement fund as well, depending on how much money you got in super by the time you turn, I think it's like 65. But they do that because then it's up to the subcontractor to allocate their super themselves, and they like in the contract sort of end up not having to pay that super amount for the company. Oh, the colors just changed again. And then there's like certain number of employees means a certain tax bracket and all that sort of stuff. Or even just insurances that you have to get. Because I think in Australia, if you have more than it's a pretty small number, but if you have more than like a certain number of employees, you have to pay. There's some kind of tax and I think an insurance thing, like for work safety. So of course all the companies are like just below the figure. When that company got caught, they 350 million. Jesus Christ. And they probably still didn't end up having to pay that either, because they got the right lawyers. 10k fine. Say, we caught you, don't do it again. Wink wink, nudge nudge. This is slightly off. Now that company's owner's wife is an MP. Isn't it always? Somehow tied into politics. Australia seems to have a slight corruption issue. Yeah. Yep. It gets worse depending on which party's in power, but it's usually one group that's at the head of it all. Because that was one of the election promises, actually, in the last election, was a independent commission against corruption, I think is what it was termed. But I haven't seen anything, nothing's been mentioned of it since the election, so it's probably been quietly quietly shuttered, and they're all hoping nobody remembers. I think it's gotten a little bit better, but still pretty bad. I reckon it's not as bad as elsewhere in the world, but it's corruption's always a bad thing. I'm just trying to terraform this river. Denmark is the least corrupt country in the world. We have corruption issues too. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a fact of any kind of politics. There'll always be corruption. Just have to make sure that it's punished when it's found. Otherwise, people lose faith in the system. There's enough issues with that already. Okay. I think that's like... This is going to be like the really rough, high erosion zone. But I think we'll be okay. We'll just put a bunch of rocks here, and then a bunch of rocks on this side, and on this side here, so that the water can sort of go bang and bang, bang, and we'll be fine. I feel like many people have already lost faith in the system. Yep. Housing prices, cost of living will do that to you. Just like a general lack of accountability as well. Because the politicians all set up... What do you say? It's like they set an example, whether they want to or not, and people follow that example. Not as role models, but just as like how representative of how their society is supposed to function. And if they're all just acting like dickheads, then everybody else gets the green light to behave the same way. Okay. Not interested in fixing it at all. No, because they benefit from it. They'll say, why fix what isn't broken? That was the same thinking behind capital gains tax and stuff in Australia. Back in not this election, but the previous one, the Labor government was thinking. They didn't even like announce anything, but they were thinking of doing something with capital gains tax, and they lost the election. Like, they got absolutely smashed. But the whole capital gains thing is a mechanism for property investors to buy more property. And this was like right before the housing crisis really took off. It was already bad. But I got to watch straight out of high school, starting to like get an education and start working, and I just get to witness the price tag of everything skyrocket. So that was a nice punch in the kick in the guts. Trackers a politician's net worth from before and after they enter office. Isn't there like there's a whole industry that basically follows, what's her name, Nancy Pelosi's trading options on the stock market. I think they just track what she's buying and selling, because like within the week she'll make or vote on some kind of bill that's related to companies and stuff like that. They're as awful as the people that voted them. I feel like people are uninformed, willingly and unwillingly. Managed to increase your net worth by 20 million in 4 years on a $1 million wage. Exactly. And we're supposed to pretend that that's from smart, like ethical investment or ethical business decisions? I don't think so. Every year, politicians and people working in the public sectors are required to declare their net worth and will be public. Yeah, well, it's... Yeah. It's like they don't even have to be subtle about it. It's like, yeah, we're doing insider trading, but don't worry about it. It won't affect you in any way whatsoever. No way, everyone's tax information is publicly available to search up. Yeah, yeah, that would be a good way to do it. Same in Finland. Yeah, like I feel like you shouldn't be able to just like look up anybody without like something happening where, yeah, you're registered as like, oh yeah, this person has looked up the tax information for this person. Just for like accountability and stuff like that. I was just thinking, what else could we put here? I do eventually want to try and modify this staircase to have a pathway extend over the highway, but I think that's beyond our capabilities at the moment. Give us a little bit of time, we'll be able to figure it out, but right now I don't think we can really build that. But yeah, that was a interesting point you made, 24, is like politicians mirroring society. I feel like they're pretty detached from society, I must say. I think they're their own bubble or their own class. I find it very rare where a politician has opinions or thoughts on things that reflect what most of the community's thinking. Here in Denmark, we have people driving around in expensive cars on welfare. Yep, we got that too. There's a new thing that was like I agree with the concept of it and the idea behind it, but the implementation has been like pretty poor because it's just led to massive amounts of it's corruption. It's like false billing and like lying about services given for because it's called the National Disability something I something scheme, I think it is. And it's supposed like the concept of it is to it's like healthcare for like additional funding and resources for like if you have a disability or something like that. And it's supposed to like have people basically they create their little business and it's for like rendering aid and services to people with disabilities or just like general healthcare stuff that's not required in a hospital. But what people do is they do basically nothing and invoice the government tens of thousands of dollars. And there's no real check. So you got people who are basically lying on their invoices and getting away with it. If it's democracy, it's your fault. Yeah, like citizens should inform, like they should have an informed vote, but how often does the information they're given get sort of muddied by different media companies and all of that sort of stuff before it even gets to your eyes or your ears? Because even like the Australian, like for example, most of the media companies in Australia are owned by Murdoch Media, which is the same guy who owns Fox News. So it's not as bad. Like it's you can tell when it's a propaganda piece, but there's like a very blatant bias in everything that comes out of like almost every news channel and what do you call it, newspaper and all, like any kind of information medium has that bias to it. Because like even yeah, it's like TVs like that. Like all the TV channels except for even ABC, which is a government funded and operated news channel, they've got like the board of directors and stuff were placed there by right-wing guys back in the day. Like I say that, but like the previous government did that. So it's like all the information, like the stories that they run and everything, you can tell there's a bit of a bias there. Sometimes it's like super obvious, and then sometimes it's not. But it's there. I think even SBS is like, I don't know if they've got much of a bias to them, but so far they're okay. But I don't really watch that channel for news. So it's like a lot of people are pretty stupid, so I wouldn't. They just see what's on TV or on the news and then believe that. So there's definitely like a disproportionate amount of influence that like mass media companies have. Because you'd hope that like the idea of educating people is that they'd be able to sort of identify this sort of stuff, but people are people and people are dumb. Or at least that's my experience. Well, maybe not dumb, but very emotional. Because there's a reason why the news is almost always bad news. Tugging on your heartstrings to get a message across. Overall behavior seems similar to their voters. What they would do if they would be in the politician's position, they say they would do the same. Yeah. I guess it does depend on like which party or political group that you align with the most. Because I like to think that I take into consideration the actual actions of each party and what they vote for and what they're supportive of. But even doing that requires effort. Depends a lot on education. We have a huge problem with education, yeah. Yeah, because it's very easy to play on emotions and stuff to get people riled up and thinking one way or another. Whether or not the reality is actually different. Ooh, pardon me. Getting like a bit of heartburn. But yeah, there's also just the fact that real life isn't black and white. But you'd hope everybody sort of wants to improve life for everybody, or just have like a generally move forward, something like that, but everybody's got opinions and not all of them are good. Class war back now. Wake up, people! It's time to rise up. Oh my god. Gonna put me on a list, Polytruck. gonna do this surface along here. Get a pet rock. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Well, I was thinking of, like, we were talking about maybe getting a little puppy dog at some point. Not anytime soon, though. And it'll also be... Shit. Yeah, then we get in a lot of trouble. Yeah, I was thinking, like, so when we move in, I'm gonna buy a big planter. So I won't have pets as in an animal or a pet rock, but what we might do is try and like grow some herbs and stuff on the balcony, because it's supposed to get a lot of sun. Finally, we made sure we got an apartment that gets lots of sun, and we'll be able to grow lots of veggies and herbs and things, which will be nice. Saw some video material from your town. Some video material? Oh. There's a guy who makes videos about Sydney, actually. Infrastructure videos, particularly. Like, he likes trains and stuff, so there's a lot of videos on railway networks and things. And it's, I think it's called Building Beautifully. And it's actually, like, pretty informative, because he taught me a lot about, like, railway projects and stuff that they've been thinking of doing in Sydney, but haven't got around to doing. Which I found interesting, but that's just me. I want to try and get this. Here. Does that delete it? Ooh, phew. Okay. There we go. Now we have a nice square planter area. Police and protest. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was that. I'm not really sure why that guy came to Sydney. Like, what the benefit of that was. It's all a bit too complicated for me to fully understand, because I'm detached from that situation. From that drama. Just seems like a shitstorm no matter what happens. Like a lose-lose scenario for everybody involved. Where's our pipe? We'll delete this little one. There. Ad break is starting soon, yeah. There we go. There we are. Wait, do I want it like that or do I want it different? Probably go over here, right? Yeah. And then I'll make this concrete a darker color so it matches with the foot. Pardon me, the footpath. I didn't have coffee at all. Well, I did, but it was like 3 hours ago. Why am I burping now? I think I've got like an allergy to milk. Which I do. Just not a serious one. Do you have a mod that changes demand? I don't think so. Actually, I did have. There's something about offices. I think that's a long time ago though. I don't think I still have it. Ow. Or the type of vehicles that enter the map. I did have the a custom vehicle from Peanut before, but I've turned that off. I've got rid of that. That's why when I try load this save, it says missing the train. So there was that, but I've got rid of that. Because I opened where is it? Simulation, and then removed all vehicles. Polytruck, are you trying to bait me into unpausing? Oh well, if you insist. Hang on. It crashes. It literally immediately crashes. Like it'll be a microsecond. It won't even be 1 second. It'll just immediately crash. Prove it. Alright. Are you ready? Alright. You know what? you're making me feel a bit hopeful, Polytruck and Hurliger. I think if we unpause, should be fine, right? Alright. We'll do it. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Oh no. Oh. I had my hopes up and everything. Unbelievable. How rude, dude. How rude. I'm gonna put this on. I should have put this on. Maybe that's why I didn't have the construction helmet on. No safety in case of crash. I don't actually have anything that's like... I don't have any mods that are not used by thousands of others. Which is why I'm a bit confused. Because an update came out today, but the previous update, I was able to play and unpause no problem for a couple of days. And then after a couple of days, it just started crashing. So I don't know if it's the actual save itself that's fucked. I have a feeling that it's the save itself. But the irritating part is if we want to test that, we have to load the game every time it fucking crashes, and that shit's a nightmare. Because I was able to, like, I played a save with mods enabled, that was just a blank map, and it worked. Like, there wasn't any crashes, it didn't do anything wrong. So it might be the save. Shit. Got me worried. Oh, I don't want to lose all the work, because this is nearly a year and 3 months. Nearly 15 months worth of work has gone into this save. And I might lose a month's worth of work. We tried loading the save without any mods. If I did that, then it would, like, the actual everything I've placed would start despawning. Because it's all like, don't have to save it. Okay. Could give it a crack. See what happens. I'm 99% sure it will. So you're confident that it's a mod? Yes. Alright, well, I believe you. I believe you. Let's see if anything breaks. I think it's just Chief being Chief. My magic touch destroys it. Ugh. Thank you for the vote of confidence. Never gave one piece of good advice. I mean, surely there's been some good advice sprinkled in there, but I think all the memorable stuff has been the bad advice. We're more prone to remember the things that go wrong than the things that go right. Watch out, philosophy will not feed you. I remember doing a philosophy course at uni. Oh my god. I only ever did one. I did pretty good in the class, but I just realized it was like non-employable stuff. I mean, it's useful wisdom, but at that age, working is more important. Or getting money. Let's have a look at the link, huh? Oh, hang on. Look at that. That's very nice. I don't see any I like this. Is that technically would this intersection here be called a trumpet intersection? It's a trumpet intersection, and then there's like this on-ramp system that you've got here. Call it what you want. A trumpet interchange with a loop-de-doop. I like it. The highways are interesting. Is this a highway here that I can see? I wonder how it interfaces with this raised highway. Because it looks like it goes under, but then it like disappears. So if I was driving... Oh, this is right-hand drive, isn't it? So if I wanted to go over here, from here, go up. And... where does that go? Does that connect, like, onto there? And then go up? Or I could go here. Ah. Let's see, where's that? Okay, I think it's nearly done loading in. Oh, here we go. Top down. Oh, so there's the big loop-de-loop. Oh, that becomes a underwater tunnel. Oh. Oh, you've got a Strode. Prospect Highway. But it's actually a Strode. A big highway road through the middle of town, and it's got no footpaths. There's very, very American planning, Hurliger. It solved traffic. Where's that? So is that a tunnel? What is that? How do you get there into that tunnel? Where does it pop out of? Can I see here? You can just walk under it. I think historically they tried to do that. Like they created like tunnels underneath major intersections in, I think it was LA, and it just ended up being like a hot spot for crime. Like it made sense from a traffic planning perspective, because if you separate the modes of traffic from each other in terms of like they can pass along without interacting, then that helps with traffic flow. But it should have been the cars underground and the footpaths above. Because at night time they just became like a hotspot for getting like robbed. But then you end up with a police state, which wouldn't be popular 24. And how do you pay for them all too? How do you do that in City Skylines? I was right, so it does go like dog legs around here and then rejoins. And I think this just ends, so it becomes 1 and then ends at this intersection here. There's a road like this in Newcastle. It's like a highway road that runs in between residential areas, and it's not like a true highway, but it's like an expressway from the north side of Newcastle to the south side. But then it's not like it. I think they're planning on and they're building like the connections to the greater highway network, but it's just this one like stretch of road that's just highway grade, but ends at a street on one end and ends at a street on the other. Amount of highways in that area may be a little too high. Yeah, I think so. You got this one here, and then this one here, and then there's like this internal ring system. Because it's got here too a direct injection of traffic from the highway into this waterfront. Yeah, the way I plan my highways is like they're basically bypass roads, so they're designed to allow traffic to skip like areas with lots of traffic lights. Yeah, I noticed that too, Polytruck, when I first loaded up the Stream Manager. I saw 404, and I thought, for a second, oh shit, something's gone wrong, but no. This entire save is made in a day. Oh wow, that's very quick. If you ask anybody how long it takes me to do anything in City Skylines, it's a week minimum. Oh, and this is the north side. Oh. I wanted to try zoom in on the clover leaf. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, so it goes there. Oh, and then this one would go under and then come up there. Okay. Oh my god. Spaghetti. Yeah. Oh. What happened to the music? There we go. Also custom based on a height map. 20 million a month somehow. What is the main export industry? Do you have like coal or something? if I look just out beyond the river, is there just like massive amounts of industry? Didn't zone any. Huh. How are you importing so much and not having a deficit, or like it's not punching a hole in your income? Interesting. Maybe I can take a, because I've been trying to make this fairly self-sufficient so that most of the stuff coming from the port is exports only. But I need to build a lot more primary industry for that to happen. Look at the oil deficit. 566 tons of oil. 1.35 kilotons of, what is this? Concrete. $1.19 kilotons of timber. Holy shit. But then I've got 1.7 kilotons export of lumber. How does that work? So we require the wood, but we don't have, I guess it's because we don't have enough processing facilities to turn the lumber into planks. And then the third level, which is the furniture and whatever, furniture and paper, needs additional timber. Okay, do we have a building that can actually like process timber? Concrete. Nope. Casting, fabrication unit. No. Gravity. Paper. Ground earth. No, so there's no specialist industry just for making lumber. And I don't think I can like I can't assign a generic industry to be timber. It just is random. If you do not zone industry, you do not import. There's some processed materials, but mainly concrete and electronics, food, textiles, and timber. So it's just offices and commercial making your money. So this is literally, yeah, just forestry to produce wood, but I don't have anything that can produce timber. that I can like manually construct. 2 million software. Isn't there like a thing that the more information that's stored on a solid state drive, the heavier it gets? But it's like a some magnitude of a gram. It's like minuscule amount of weight. I think apparently electricity has a weight. Not really. I swear I remember reading data is on and off. Yeah, I think it's the charge or something that has like a slight weight. One on is 1 positive charge, off is -1. But does an electron have weight to it then? Is that? Am I thinking correct there? If it's got a positive charge, that's 1 extra electron. An electron needs to have weight. I'm brain rotted. Oh no. I'm cooked. I'm deep fried. Really depends on how the binary adds up. 1101 0011. Bit of a big. Is that it for the big squares? Rectangles? Ah. I thought there was a larger, longer one. Okay. Never mind. Okay. Now it's roughly square. Industry is a trap for the economy. Yes, it is. 24. I actually I've got it wish listed, and I got an email notification that it was on sale. So I have bought it and I have downloaded it. I'm thinking maybe streaming it over the next couple of days, maybe. Yes. I'm gonna tap into the Anno viewer market. Try and we'll get up to 500 followers then. Oh yeah, not bad. Look at that, we're making big moves. Seems decent at 45. Yeah, it was 60 something dollary dues in Australia. Why can't I build a road? A line, there we go. Oh, huzzah! It has done exactly what I wanted. How rare! Still using Doritos. Yeah, we're part of Eurovision. It's only a matter of time, 24, before we're part of the EU. geothermal plants since they're free money. Wait, are they in this game? Somewhat expensive to build and maintain. The export from one is around 2. Holy shit, really? Just exporting power. I don't even need all of this. I could just demolish that and then put geothermal power plants everywhere. Why do I need the rest of the people here? I just need to make a geothermal power plant town. Yeah, that would feel like cheating doing that. That feels too easy. Forgot to add water, so I can't do it. But do they consume water? Like, you can't just use underground water? There we go. So that goes up there. And I guess we should try build just some general more industry and stuff like that, just to try and promote timber production. Hey Bagnario, good morning. We're good. We're excited for the weekend. Tomorrow actually I'm going to be playing board games with some mates. So I am cracking out the Settlers of Catan. I'm going to try and win again. My skill at Catan has gotten so high that they've every time we play now they instantly form a coalition against me. I've won too much. About to make your friends angry, I see. Isn't that the goal? Isn't that the whole point? Just think 24. When they're tilted, they're easier to play against. It's all part of the grand strategy. Truth be told, I just pay attention to what they're trying to build towards and then steal it from under them. If I see them building roads, I'll build a road too. Try and fly under the radar while I slowly amass the resources. We haven't played Catan for a while. We've been all addicted to a new game called Saboteur. Well, I say it's new to us. but I think it's a fairly old game. But it's kind of like a card game, but you've got like the dwarves who are good guys, and then there's also dwarves who are saboteurs trying to stop everybody else from getting to the gold. And you have to like slowly place cards that act as like pathways leading towards the gold. And it gets fun towards the end, because then the saboteurs get more and more desperate to try and stop everybody from getting the gold. It's a fun little game. There we go. There's another body of water. Yeah, we have a good time playing it. Because it gets like... At first, it's like pretty chill, because everybody's just sort of starting to build the tunnels and stuff, and trying to figure out where the gold is exactly. And then as it gets more and more through... Because you don't know how many saboteurs there are. Like, even the saboteurs themselves don't know if they have an ally or not. So we had one game where there was a saboteur, like we guessed that they were the saboteur, and they were just like trying to disrupt everything. And then the other guy, there was another guy who was constantly trying, like, making a very directed effort to stop them from being able to do anything. Turns out that other guy was also a saboteur, so they were both just stopping each other from being able to win, which was pretty funny. Can it be played as a drinking game? Actually, yes. So if you get to the gold at the end, there's a deck of cards that's just like little gold nuggets, and you can either pick from like 3, 2, 1. So I think you could turn that into a drinking game, right? Like, depending on how much gold you get, you have to drink that many shots or whatever. I think very quickly you get absolutely munted. But I reckon it'd be worth it for a bit of fun. See potential. This is not the first time we're talking about this game. I think so. I think I was talking about it with Jelly, I think. Hang on. It shows up in your search history. Here it is. This one. Ooh. All the cards are everywhere. Shit. Yeah, it's really fun. Because then it's basically best of 3 rounds. Let's say that there. Oh, it's backwards. But it's a fun game. There's like DLC for it, which is a bit whatever, but because there's like we haven't tried the DLC part, but they've added in extra roles and actions that you can do, so maybe we'll try it. We'll see how that goes. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I'll just turn it into a big mess. Right, I'll fix that later. All the cards fell out the box. Yeah, it's a DLC for Saboteur. Okay, we're going to detail this triangle now. Yep. I'm going to draw a path. Actually, you know what? We'll make an invisible path. It's been a little while since we've made one of those. There we go. And then we're going to use a custom surface. Something that looks fairly crappy, but not too crappy. Try this one. Too pale. It's like really bright. Try this one. This one should be okay. There's a bigger block. Yes. There we go. It's not very downloadable though. Yeah, I never actually heard of it until I went to the local shop and saw it there. And I was like, oh, what's this? And it was on sale, so I thought I'd give it a go. But it's turned out to be a pretty fun party game. I'm gonna add a few stains. There we go. Right, and I want to use a bit of the... Where's the oil industry? Go, there's that one, and then we'll put another one here. Like that. A little bit of garbage. Garbage. Right, then we'll put some trash in and around these garbage areas. And we just sink it all down a little bit. So they all have this like white box at the bottom, which shouldn't be there. If I do say so myself. A bit of rubble, huh? We'll basically turn all of these, the space underneath the walkway here, the pipeline, I should say, into just like a dumping ground. Because I mean, how often are people going to look underneath here in terms of like actually do maintenance? They'll just be like, is the pipe leaking? Yeah. Is it leaking badly? Nah. So it's fine. I feel like that would be the common approach. We do want this fence. There we go. I'll just connect that because why the hell not? There we go. And just a few bushes here and there. There we go. So we've got the concrete walkway for workers to, after they take the train, they cross here, go down, up and through, and they arrive at ground earth. Welcome to hell. Where is the front door, by the way? And we've got this big metal door here, but that's more for cars. Same as that, that's more for cars. Vehicles. This is definitely for vehicles only. Even this is a bit strange because there's like a big roller door there, but then a cargo container parked right out the front. Or an empty shipping skip bin thing. So I guess they sort of just enter wherever they want. I think this will be one of the first buildings I've ever seen where it's not actually obvious where the front door is for the workers, not the vehicles. Can we fit a small business in here. Do 2x3 and see. Okay, 2x2 it'll have to be. Says who? Says me. Might put oil storage here, that might make more sense. Get the one that's got the right like concrete pad hard stand. Oh, they're all the same. There. We'll use you, mate. You look alright. And you look fairly easy to replace, so let's go down here. There we go. Easy as. Just make this whole thing concrete hard stand, or asphalt as they say. There we go. Little parking spot for the local maintenance dude, just to make sure these aren't going to explode. But I'm thinking, if these are transporting chemicals, what color should the pipe be? I don't want to just do a plain grey. I want a color for it. Is there a color coding system for pipes? Because I think there is, isn't there? Like sewer lines have a specific color, and then telco lines have a specific color. So is there one for chemicals? Yellow maybe. Ah. We might be able to use this orangish color. Here it is. So that's yellow, right? What makes them green? Oh. Somehow makes it feel even more dangerous. It's a nice contrast though. Yeah. where each color is like assigned to a different part of the building. And I can only change the color of the base parts. I can't actually change the color of the orb things. The sound file is like overlapping each other. It's so loud. Why does that sound like my stomach when I eat too much food? Someone is inside. They're trying to get out. It's Godzilla. That was so loud though. It looks like the audio files are playing over each other. Banging the wall. Let me out. Let me out. Just woke up with a police chopper landing near your place. Wow. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Oh my god. Medi-heli landed one time next to your place. Oh my god, Polytruck. For the neighbor, I presume? The neighbor with the diesel Mercedes. It's really loud. Colossus. That's where the dev team have been trapped in there. Out to here. There we go. Childbirth. Oh my god. Well, hopefully that turned out alright. Poor lady. That'd be scary, yeah. I don't know how people in like regional areas do that. Especially if you live like far away from a hospital. Weekly offs. So my neighborhood is kind of controlled by a militia. Oh my god. Wow. Very brave, Bagnario. Very brave. I don't think I'd be able to live in an area like that for long. I suppose you get used to it, but like, Jesus Christ. Scary. I think somebody's bailed out of going to the board games tomorrow. What a dog. Here's some props. Oil. Not a large one. Use a small one, huh? Swap the colors around. Perhaps too bright yellow. Can we make it a bit? Maybe a bit better. Valuable neighborhoods from Sao Paulo. Rent is cheap, right? The opposite. In ex-Soviet world, yellow means gas. Ah. Do they use petroleum-based products or gas products for... I assume there would be some international color code. Hang on. Yeah, natural gas. Color... You are color-coded pipe for... or pipe color codes. And we'll do Australia. What do we have? Okay. Water heating pipes, I don't remember those. Purple. So it says red is electricity, cables, conduit, and lighting. Orange is telco, alarms or signal lines, cables or conduit. Yellow is fuel gas, methane or propane. Oil, petroleum, steam or gaseous materials. Green is sewers and drains. Blue is drinkable water. And purple is reclaimed water, irrigation, and slurry. Which is probably... I imagine most of those colours are used internationally, right? Yeah, yellow is a good pick. Yellow is gas. This is brown for oils and flammable liquids. Every diagram has something different. It says violet is for acids and alkalines. Australian Standard 1345, 1995. Green is water, red is fire, yellow flammable gases, brown combustible liquids, light blue is air, orange electricity, violet acids, alkalis, and white is telco. So yellow seems to be the standard color for like natural gas. So we're piping farts direct from the tank farm to the industry. Because that's what natural gas is, right? It's methane, I think. Wouldn't know. Well, thanks for nothing. Should ask that on Reddit. I think you ask Reddit a question and then you just get like 1,000 edgelords giving you some like wrong answer, thinking it's funny. and then like 1,000 comments saying this under the wrong answer. Yeah. Propane is Bhutan, the country. Butane. How do you pronounce that? I don't think of recently, at least in the last couple of years, I don't think I've ever seen anybody pronounce that word butane. Butane. All gas comes from Bhutan. We're going to put in lots of oil spills and stuff here. All that toxic, nasty stuff. Himalayan gas. Butane. Beautiful country. Yeah, exactly 24. It's just like an echo chamber of ha ha ha, I'm so funny, ha ha ha. Hey Space Pants, how to see mod list? Is there a way to do it? Yeah, there is none. Yeah, I thought there was a way for me to share the control freak. It's my mod list. Nobody can know. With Skype, I think you can. Huh? Skype. I was like, Skype? I haven't used Skype in over a decade. I would prefer, like, if I was going to make a mod list, I want it to just be able to auto update. I don't know how to do that. Right, /mods. Yeah, and then like that'll be the command that makes it all pop up. Yeah, I don't have any local mods, Bagnaria. I've like made the choice not to be downloading files from Discord servers and stuff. Just for accessibility's sake. But I thought there was a way to share your mod list. Or VIPs to see amazing people. I mean, that's a good idea. Somebody quickly vibe code a Twitch extension. You know what? Maybe we'll try vibe code, huh? Hey ChatGPT, can you vibe code me a thing that does this? Absolutely. Yes, sir. I can do that right away. Definitely not with ChatGPT. Too many from Sully's, yeah. He's got a ton of assets and stuff, but I've like just avoided it because before I had so many issues with broken mods and stuff, and we've got it again. I'm an expert modder. Forgot a bracket in my EU5 mod, and it made the game. Do they call it vibe coding because it doesn't really work as well as it should? I think it's because the code isn't from any kind of expertise. It's just like, yeah, this might be right. Let's just execute it and see what happens. Like, it looks okay. It matches, like the words there match the message I'm trying to convey and is good enough. Just compile stuff, it doesn't create anything. Ah. So I've never actually tried to do any of that stuff with an AI. Thought you might be able to like tell it, I'm programming in whatever programming language. Can you please give me code that does this function? I thought that's how it would work. Give them all a bit of a spin. Whee! Get into the vibe of talking back and forth with the LLM without touching the code. Really? Okay. That definitely is just vibes then. So a job interview last week, and one of the candidates said he used AI for his current job. They asked him if he fed it code, and the guy said yes. I mean, that's good news for you, dude. Exactly. The guy must have been young, like naive. Or he's been huffing his own farts on the AI hype train for a bit too long. Big companies will provide you with an enterprise AI and you're expected to use it. Yeah, like my company's tried implementing AI, but then they're very strict about you can't feed it any company information, so nobody's really uses it. Which, why spend all that money then? What's the point of it? They did like dozens of hours of training courses on and like seminars on like why the AI is going to be such a helpful tool, and then they can't even use it as a help desk because it can't like it doesn't even know the policies for the company, so it's just like it's just one big question mark as to why. Yeah, good luck, Hurliger. Expect a call back in the next 2 to 3 hours. Yes, fingers crossed for you, man. Hope you get it. They asked me how many public parking spots would have electrical chargers in 10 years. 100, city of 400k, 112k cars. 10 years time. Fewer than today. I guess my next question would be, what is the government subsid? What is the government plan for subsidizing electric cars? Are they supportive of it, or are they against it? Because in there you'll find your answer. That's your job to know, I guess. Planning? No. Forward thinking? No. Reaction only. Reaction-based policy only. That's all we do. Vibe governing. Said 5k and then I said 0. Yeah, I think it would be very dependent on what the city government is actually, like, what their opinion is of electric cars. And if there's like federal government subsidies. Because there's also fire safety hazards that you have to take into account. I remember learning about this a couple of years ago, actually. That I was talking about this before a while ago. Not in 10 years, but maybe 20 to 30 years, we'll not have public parking spots. Maybe 50. Better chargers at home or auto charger? I think it'll be a long time before auto charging is a thing. I remember people used to talk about like having a strip in the road that you run the same, like the opposite of a train catenary. You got it in the road for like charging that way. But I feel like they'll figure it out, and it'll be a couple of decades down the line. But the big thing with lithium batteries, especially lithium batteries in a car, in an electric car, is that they are very flammable. And they burn at a much higher temperature than just a standard car fire that you have with a petrol diesel engine. And that's one of the big things. So, because currently, I don't know if they've changed the fire planning regulations, but that was a big issue with people putting like electric car charging things and parking electric cars in like garages that are attached to your building, like your house or your apartment if it's in the basement or whatever. And like that's a big issue. So Hurley, that would be something I'd be asking, because then if that's the case, and Bagnaria says they're banned in garages, it's like it'd be on street, open air parking where the electric chargers would be. But I feel like you'd be able to replace existing petrol stations with like they slowly phase out the actual petrol bowser with charging ports. Like it'd just be a big car park basically, and they'd probably have a cafe or some kind of like food based industry in the servo station to get some extra cash while you wait for the car to charge. Hydrogen is way better. I think there's the big issue with it is storing it, isn't it? It requires more energy to store it. but because I guess all of that has to a big limiting factor would be existing infrastructure. Like if you're going to make it easily accessible for people, you have to have a spot where you can actually store it and make it easily accessible for customers. Which is why I think electric is the more popular option, or would be. Because all the infrastructure's already there. All the cables are in the ground. The businesses will always go for the cheapest option first. The Formula E are testing new stuff. An auto swap station and get a fully charged one. Yeah, exactly. They do that with the electric bikes and stuff already. I remember seeing in I think I saw a video and it was in Taiwan where the e-bikes, it's like a brick that you pull out and you put it in it's like a big locker sort of wall of batteries, and you just pull out a fully charged one, plug it in, and you're good to go. I feel like that would be the more popular option, but that would be the more popular option for the budget cars, the budget electric cars. There's no way. Hurliger, tell me, do you think a BMW driver who's got an electric car would use any other battery apart from their own? Would a BMW driver actually do that? You're telling them to use a battery that some other pleb has used? Disgusting. Disgusting. Drive Teslas now. See? Key factor there is the battery is owned. I don't think you'd see a BMW driver dead in a car that didn't have their own battery in it. It could never be anything more embarrassing. I feel like there's a lot of smart people in chat here now, so I feel like an imposter. Are you saying that I am smart 24? Oh my god. I'm gonna run with that now for forever. Not. Oh no! Oh no! You got me. You got me. Petrol heads don't give a damn about this. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with petrol cars. I assume there'll always be a thing, but it might get like very expensive to maintain and to get the fuel. Got a quick foot, chief. I can walk very fast. Yeah, true. If self-driving becomes more mainstream, yeah, like insurance prices for just driving your own car manually would be and then when they talk about manual cars, they mean people actually with a steering wheel. Oh wow, would that happen in our lifetimes? I don't know. public transportation. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the self-driving market's still very small. It's the same with driving a motorbike during the winter. Oh. Is there actually like insurance premiums for driving a motorbike in winter? I guess that's not a thing in Australia because it doesn't get cold in Denmark yet. Ah. Yes, I do remember 24 that we need to make an island. But I do want to try and finish at least one infrastructure project. But yeah, like public transportation, that's one issue with it is it's all focused on concentrating traffic into nodes and then connecting those nodes via like rail or whatever. But the local roads, like your house, is not going to be, or it's not very likely that there's a transportation node very close by. You still need a car to get to the train station or whatever it might be. Finishing a project would destroy my brand. True. Even in, yeah, the last mile, exactly. I guess there's lessons to be learned from Japan and the Netherlands for public transport and bike infrastructure. Because Tokyo is like so easy to walk around. There's like train stations everywhere. And then the Netherlands has a really robust bike cycle network. I feel like if you could merge those two together, that would solve that last mile problem. Yeah, if the bus goes where you want it to. And I guess it's also just like a cultural thing. Like, I feel like the Netherlands probably has a big push or big culture for cycling compared to the US, for example, where the culture is more just like, if you got a car, drive there. Even if it's 5 minutes away, drive there. I'm going to do a tiny bit of landscaping here. There we go. And then we'll put a fence on this side. I was hoping we get like a little gutter sort of wall network. Guess this is the closest we can get. Cultures can change, yeah, but it's usually stuff like that's usually out of necessity, right? Moved 12 k's out of the city to a town with 2,000, and the bus line to my job got better. It's one of the reasons bikes don't work here. Yeah, and I guess like Sao Paulo's got, I imagine it's got quite a lot of elevation changes, right? So trying to cycle uphill, you get very tired very quickly. Yeah, it'd take a few generations for it to become like entrenched. But I think the big hurdle is actually building bike infrastructure that's good in the first place. Because half the time it's just like a patchwork of fixing up existing or like modifying existing roads to try and like retrofit the new bike infrastructure, and then you end up with a cycle path that's like this. Where there's like indirect paths that sort of go out of the way and aren't like a straight line. And just sort of like zigzags and goes all around because the cycle infrastructure wasn't actually thought of when the roads were first planned or made. Because if it's introduced as an afterthought, then that's all it'll stay as, is an afterthought. Yep, just put a few barrels here. And then maybe even erect a car or two. Vibe governing. Is that the new coined term? That'll be the new. We'll say it started here. Not just the steepness, but it rains like hell. There's no space for viable bike paths. Yeah. Didn't I think it's in Colombia. There's a major city in Colombia who's decided to just like go with building gondola lines instead of any other kind of public infrastructure. There's just gondolas in the sky going like because it's really hilly. I think maybe that's the solution, Bagnaria. Then you can have the gondola wars as people fight for control of gondola routes. That sounds like something straight out of Mad Max. Needed vibe coding to show to. Are you saying we've always been vibe coded? We're all vibe coding? Vibe governing? No way. Whoa. Okay. So as our vehicles drive along, got this little thing and this big thing. What's that invisible line I'm seeing? Look at that, it's all filled in now, this teardrop shape. Decide to make it a pseudo landfill. That's a good question. Why do I do that? I guess because it's like it reflects real life. Especially in an industrial area, there's shit everywhere. Aria already has the gondola. Nice. That actually is like a smart move. If it's too steep, then why not build a gondola? Even that fancy path goes through garbage. From garbage we are born, and to garbage we shall return. Best bands for us this week. Oh, the music? Yeah, I found this new YouTube channel and I'm quite enjoying their music. Very, very like low key, lo-fi. Watch motorbike travel videos from around the world. Traffic shots from India, Africa really causes me an anxiety attack. Yeah, it's crazy. And I remember going to Thailand and trying to cross the road. That was scary. Like, even China was better. Even though there's like 1.2 billion people, like even there the traffic's more organized than Thailand. It's that thing where you like start crossing and try and make eye contact with the people on the scooters as they come straight at you, and you just hope that they go around you. Oh, terrifying. AC/DC is... Yeah, that's a good question, Polytruck. They're still alive? Isn't... Oh, what's his name? Angus? The guitar guy. He's like 80. I think the lead singer's actually deaf. Like, I think he's given... I think that's legit too. From all the concerts and the loud music, because he never had hearing protection. He's gone deaf. Second vocalist died a long time. Oh my god. AC/DC vocalist deaf. Brian Johnson. Yeah, he's still alive. Yeah, doctors warned he risked permanent hearing loss due to decades of performing at high volume. So he's just got mad tinnitus. Deep Purple is here again in the summer. Leave those old men in peace. They're doing it for the love of the game, Polytruck. And probably a fairly steady supply of drugs and alcohol. It's probably what's keeping them going. Alright, I'm actually really glad with this choice to use a bright yellow. The contrast is really nice. And it works pretty well too. And then when we do the pipeline for the water here, we're going to make it blue. Men in diapers. Is that a new band name, Polytruck? "5 years since we sent the James Webb Telescope up." Wasn't there a Mars probe as well that got sent like around the same time? Moonbase when? Moonbase, please? This is really coming together. It's taken us like 2 months to get this far, but we're getting through. Yeah, it is 12:30, so I'll start wrapping up the stream. We should raid somebody, right? Who's streaming? Hey Hurliger, thank you for the follow, man. Thank you very much. Does that make us 405 followers? Yes, we're no longer at the error code 404. We'll just call it actually. Yeah, thank you very much. No stream tomorrow. Probably not, because I will be out hanging out with mates and doing board games. So we'll see how late we go. But at the moment, I'd say no stream tomorrow. But Sunday, yes. So we'll see. But yeah, I'd say probably not for tomorrow at least. Yeah. I'll keep working on this though in the background if I can. We've been working on it for a while, so any little bit of extra detail is always good. Could promise to do it and get some money from rich people. I wish it was that simple. Could make a good business case. Maybe fix the game crash. Yeah, it's... I feel like Hurliger's on the ball there, where it's probably some pathfinding thing. But we'll fix that when we get to it. I think probably easiest thing to do is just wait until for the guy to update the traffic mod. The same way that we had to wait for the landscaping tools mod before. So I think it might just be the same situation. Hey Nick, thank you for the follow as well. Look at that, we're at 406. Oh my god. Which mod is crashing? We have a suspicion that it's the traffic light enhancement mod, because apparently the usual culprit is pathfinding mods, because it's instant crash. Like if I unpause, it will instantly crash. Let's just quickly save. Watch this. But it has a process. Yeah, probably. Look at this. It's just instant. Yeah. It's not even half a second, it just instantly crashes. Thank you, 24. But yeah, I do have to go, so here is our queue. Thank you so much for the resub, 24. Thank you very much. 7 months, man. Time's gone very quick. Yes, they do count as proper crashes. If the game crashes to desktop, it's a proper crash. But yeah, thank you so much, 24. Polytruck, Bagnario, Hurliger, Dream, Nick for the follow, thank you. World Map as well for the check-in. And to everybody else in the background too, thank you so much. Colored some pipes. It is progress though. And we filled in a little triangle with some more trash. But yeah, see you guys. I'll catch you all on the next one. Might even stream some Anno. But yeah, see yous.